Hey guys, Research Team here, and today I'm going to be playing Castle Hill. It is another horror visual novel. And first off, I apologize for the lighting here. I have my computer in a different spot, and I can't use my desk lamp here. So I actually have the whole light on, even though I prefer to be in a completely dark area with just that desk lamp, but I don't feel like moving my computer right now. As usual, that background noise is the fan. Not much I can do about that. Alright, now I'm going to open up the game. I had the game open before just to make sure it worked, but I want to open the game because it does start with the credits, and I do believe that credits should always be shown in these videos. Okay, good, it's showing. Also, this video is late because my mom's awful this week and we've been hanging out. My name is Ashley McLaughlin. I'm a 38-year-old office worker and part-time writer. The summer of 2009, after the end of a long relationship, I decided to take a sabbatical. I lived in Ellsworth, a suburb of River City, which was the only city for about 100 miles around. I like the music. Even though my work had taken me to a drab office in South Dakota, the intervening years wouldn't fully strip away my love of the outdoors. I grew up as a plucky girl who played explorer in the woods of northern Oregon. It was time to return to my roots. In addition to the neglected adventurer in me, I also coveted the chance to work on my writing, something that had fallen to the wayside during more stressful proceedings. I hadn't decided on a destination yet when, on the drive home from the office, I saw a sign for a state auction happening that afternoon. Use of real life pictures is nice. Sorry, I'm very thirsty. Being a bit of a treasure hunter, I decided to go. The event was on the other side of town in a neighborhood that was known for its bigger, richer houses. When I arrived, the auctioneer was on the lawn in front of an audience in folding chairs. They were bidding on various statues and artifacts the deceased had acquired in his travels. I watched for a little while, but when a single oil painting sold for over $2,000, I knew the crowd was too rich for my blood. Wandering around the tables covered with trinkets and small pieces of furniture, I noticed that the deceased had a very nice collection of camping gear. I digged through it. Most of it was well worn, but a few coats and pairs of rain gear were in good condition. Excuse me. I would have bought them, but they were all in men's sizes. Instead, I settled on a single wrinkled book, priced for $1 and left next to a table full of old, ice-content gear. It was a guide to the trails and parks of the Dakotas. That night, while paging through vague descriptions of serene lakes and hidden hot springs, I found a reference to an obscure campground nestled inside the Black Hills. There wasn't a formal entry in the guidebook. Instead, written in the margins, was directions to a place called Castle Hill Park. Next to the writing was a small map showing where a trail opened between trees on the shoulder of a low highway and led into an unnamed forest. At first I figured it was a recent edition. After all, the book had been published in the mid-1970s and was easily outdated. I quickly flipped through the rest of the book looking for any other handwritten entries. There were none until I reached the last few pages. At the end, after the acknowledgments and list of provisions, the publisher had left several full pages of that the reader might keep a log of places they visited. The earliest entry was from 1978, visit to the trails behind Mount Rushmore. This was followed by years of hiking and camping in nearly every park in the region. It wasn't until September 28, 1991, when it's better. It wasn't until September 28, 1991, when the first entry from Castle Hill Park appeared. Then on May 2nd, 1994, and again in late March of 1995. After that, at least once every single year until December 31st, 1999. After that, interest became sparse. Between the years of 2001 and 2005, there wasn't a single trip recorded until September 12, 2006, when he returned one final time to Castle Hill Park. I researched Castle Hill Park on the internet and in other guidebooks. I even sought out revisions specifically from the 90s, thinking the park might have been abandoned after a decade or so. It was all fruitless. As far as every reference is concerned, Castle Hill Park simply didn't exist. In a move of desperation, I called the estate which I purchased the map from. The paralegal who answered the phone informed me that the gentleman who had passed away had kept it himself, especially after his wife passed before him. He said he didn't think any of his children would be able to answer specific questions about camping, but promised to ask them. I don't think he ever did. The old man, whose name I found out was Henry Albert Burns, continued to return to Castle Hill Park until it was the single most visited place in Ceylon. This whole situation sat in the back of my mind while I worried about more present things and divorce was going poorly. After 10 years married, there were so many complications, even the simplest proposals were met with objections and sustainments and postponements. I couldn't decide if the lawyers were earning their pay or robbing me blind. Okay, so I think her name was Anne, is getting divorced. We've been separated for a year, and proceedings had just entered into the 5th month. The end was in sight, though, and just when I'd forgotten about that, Henry Burns, his name came up on the evening news. Okay, that's interesting. The family, it seems, was in the middle of a settlement of their own. It seems that the Alkshine was for his 3rd home. One of his children, a stepchild, had been shut out illegally, and now the whole probate was in question. The report was over, and I was about to turn off the television when they announced there would be a brief biography on Henry after the normal newscast. It turns out he owned several small manufacturing companies and sat on the board of a regional oil field contractor who was known to be secretive, often disappearing without notice. The public knew him from the evening news. Twice in the 1990s, he was reported missing by his wife and colleagues, only to turn up a few weeks later, hitchhiking home. The story ended up in Reader's Digest under the humor column. I didn't have to research the old news reports to know, but I did anyway. When I cross-referenced the dates of the reports and old trail guides, it was a perfect match. I sat in my room looking at the log. I had to punch a line to a Jay Leno joke, and as far as I could tell, I was the only one who knew. Eventually, the legal proceedings were wrapped up. I notified my office that I would be out and started planning my sabbatical. After purchasing a new tent and some other things, I loaded everything into my Ranger, which I'd almost lost, but the judge assumed it was my ex-husband's vehicle and pulled out onto the interstate. I've seen plenty of people driving Rangers. I've always seen them be women. So that's just a bit of humor on my part. Like I said, very thirsty song. It was a sense of secrecy or mystery, or maybe I was just looking for an excuse to get away. Whatever the reason, I knew where I was going. That was a good prologue. It got me very into the story. I'm actually going to save right there, because if anything's happening, it's going to happen now. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Okay, so it looks like I'm not going to be able to save. That's going to be a problem. Spent most of the day on the road before turning off the highway and into a tiny town called Basin. Population couldn't be more than about 50 or 60 from the look of it. I had to wonder where the one horse was. It consists of a single road with 2 houses and a single municipal building. Can I save now? I cannot. The only store was an empty lot near the highway on-ramp. It had 1 gas pump and the whole thing was maybe 400 square feet. I parked my truck and got to stretch my legs. Only 1 other vehicle was parked beside the entrance. The rest was a tractor with a cart on the back. I went inside the store. There wasn't much to see. It smelled like an old attic and the aisles were cramped, filled with everything from gloves to granola. A bottle of soda and a candy bar to the front of the head. On a stool behind the counter was an old man reading a newspaper. He didn't look friendly, but I struck up a conversation anyway. I found out that he lived in a basin his whole life and had run the store for the last 30 years. I wondered if he'd been married, maybe he still was. I asked him if he knew anything about a place called Casserole Park. He told me it was about 20 minutes out Basin up the main road. He reached to a display on the counter and pulled out a map, photocopied and folded from a single piece of paper. Had the highway exit in the main street as well as a few service roads that deviated further up. He drew a path off one of the service roads and told me that was where the old trailhead was. He said it was an old campground they tried to restore about a decade ago. There used to be some regulars who came by, but he hadn't seen them in years. He asked why I was interested in going there. I explained that there were better places to camp on the highway and the season was slow, so they weren't likely to be crowded. I had to explain that the estate, sales, and trails guide. Even I didn't understand. I thanked him and paid for my things. It wasn't until I was back outside that I thought to ask him another question. I went back in, and when he looked up, he knew that I was back, asked if he knew a man named Henry Burns. For a thoughtful moment, he said they had. They would turn up a few times a year, and yes, always stayed in Casserole Park. He described him as a lone hiker, though sometimes he had a friend with him. Friend, interesting. I asked him why Henry would want to stay in an unkept part of Castle Hill. The old man told me, if you remember right, there was a brook that poured over a rock formation nearby. He told me it had a unique sound, something to do with cavities in the volcanic glass he couldn't really understand. I get it. Assuming this isn't the creepy part, I get it. Henry had mentioned to him years ago that it was the only place to get restful sleep. I asked him to show me where this brook was, and he showed me. It looked like it was only a short walk. The campsite, he didn't even draw it in. It was already marked with a black triangle and named Devil's Falls. I smiled at the ominous name. Halloween was always my favorite holiday. Oh, I like her. For a couple of years, we had hosted the costume parties in the neighborhood. I put the thought away. Back on the road, I followed it to the north end of town. There, I changed to a fire service road. The GPS was working, but nothing outside of the basin's main road was in its memory. It kept telling me to turn towards the nearest highway, by now miles away. Instead, I relied on the map. The distance was short, but I had to drive slow. The unmaintained road was occasionally washed out, and I had to make a calculated maneuver between trees and the gutter. Finally, according to my odometer, the Park Road was close by. I had to turn around twice, but I found it. Hidden well and overgrown was a set of 8 tire ruts which curved off the service road and onto one that was somehow worse. I began to wonder if this was actually a park or just a local unmarked trail. At a point, I thought I lost the trail, slowly plowing through the grass and short brush when I finally emerged at an old parking lot. The pavement was cracked and crumbled, and scrawny windings of grass patched the entire thing. Oh, windings. In the far end of the park lot, there was an old ranger station. looked like it had been abandoned 30 or 40 years ago. Part of the roof had caved in, and the whole south wall was bound to follow. Next to the station was a sign. Castle Hill Park. Okay, while I am enjoying this game, it is late and I am tired, and unfortunately I don't know if I'm going to be able to play more of this. I'm very much enjoying the story. I'd love to do more of this if possible, but I need to figure out the saves first. Because while there hasn't been any choices yet, I am sure there will be. I can forgive any bugs. This game was made within 48 hours, so maybe they have some kind of solution on their Game Jolt page. I'll check it out. But I definitely want to do more of the story, and if I can, share it with you guys. I'm quite enjoying this. So I will tentatively call this Castle Hill Part 1 for now, or Castle Hill Part 1 for now. And if you guys enjoy this and want to see more, please give it a like. It does help let me know. Comment is even better, because I'm guaranteed to see a comment. I don't necessarily see the likes. It's weird. And again, if you want to play for yourself, I will have the link in the description below. I am very much enjoying this game. I'd love to continue this, but I have to find the saving. Figure out the saving issue first. Thankfully, the first 2 chapters didn't have any choices in them, so I know I can do that. Well, the prologue in the first chapter did. So I know I can get back to here easily. It's just, I'd like to be able to save for when there is a choice. So, as always, thank you guys for watching, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great time wherever you may be. Bye, guys!